Alright, let's dive into something that's been dominating the headlines lately, the Gann Fire in Calaveras County. But before we get into the nitty-gritty, let me just say this. Wildfires are one of those events that remind us just how small we are in the face of nature. And the Gann Fire. It's a stark reminder of that. So, what's going on here? Well, the fire started Monday evening near Hogan Dam and Gann Roads, and it's already burned over 7,000 acres, as of Wednesday morning. That's a massive area, and it's still growing. But here's what really caught my attention, the fire's rapid spread through dry grass and brush. It's a textbook example of how dry conditions can turn a small spark into a raging inferno. Personally, I think this highlights a bigger issue, climate change, and its impact on wildfire seasons. We are seeing longer, more intense fire seasons, and this is just the latest chapter in that story. Now, let's talk about the human impact. Schools in the Calaveras Unified School District are closed, and that's not just an inconvenience, it's a sign of how seriously officials are taking this. Smoke and poor air quality are major concerns, and closing schools is a proactive step to protect kids. But what's really heartbreaking is the homes that have already been lost. At least 2 homes have burned, and that's 2 families whose lives have been upended. It's easy to look at these numbers and statistics, but behind every acre burned, there's a story. And that's something we can't forget. Evacuations are still in effect for several zones, and this is where things get even more complicated. Evacuation orders mean people have to leave their homes immediately, and that's no small feat. Imagine having to grab your essentials, your pets, and maybe even your livestock, and just go. It's chaotic, it's stressful, and it's a reminder of how quickly things can change. The Red Cross has set up shelters, and they are providing water, meals, and emotional support, which is crucial. But here's the thing, even with all the help, evacuations are traumatic. What many people don't realize is that the psychological toll of these events can last long after the flames are out. Now, let's talk about the response efforts. Cal Fire has over 1,500 personnel on the ground, and they are using everything from Firehawk helicopters to bulldozers. The fact that they've managed to establish 10% containment is a testament to their hard work, but it's also a reminder of how challenging this fire is. And it's not just the firefighters. Governor Gavin Newsom has secured federal funding, and the Calaveras County Sheriff has declared a local state of emergency. This is a full-scale response, and it's necessary. But here's what I find fascinating, even with all these resources, nature still has the upper hand. It's a humbling reality. One detail that really stood out to me was the rollover of a bulldozer, and the crash involving a fire engine. These incidents highlight the dangers that first responders face every day. We often think of firefighters as these invincible heroes, but they are putting their lives on the line in incredibly risky conditions. The fact that a firefighter was injured in the rollover is a stark reminder of that. And the crash. It's a testament to how chaotic these situations can be. Roads are blocked, visibility is low, and every decision has to be made in a split second. If you take a step back and think about it, these are the unsung moments of bravery that don't always make the headlines. So, what does this all mean? Well, from my perspective, the Gann Fire is more than just another wildfire. It's a wake-up call. It's a reminder of how vulnerable we are to the forces of nature, and how important it is to prepare for these events. But it's also a story of resilience, of communities coming together, of first responders risking their lives, and of people helping each other in times of crisis. What this really suggests is that while we can't control nature, we can control how we respond to it. And that's something worth thinking about. As we wrap up, I want to leave you with this. Wildfires are devastating, but they are also a part of life in many regions. The question is, how do we adapt? How do we build more resilient communities? And how do we support those who are on the front lines? Personally, I think these are questions we all need to be asking. So, what's your take? Let me know in the comments below. And if you're in an area affected by wildfires, stay safe. We'll see you in the next one.